Different forms of music have different effect, and spirituals are perhaps the richest of today's music, telling not just the story in the song, but of the people who created that music out of blood and tears, out of hope and release. All music was an integral part of Nathan's life, but spirituals most deeply. We'll never sing another Moses Hogan arrangement where we don't think about him. There will never be another concert where we don't look for Scylla in the audience. There will always be an emptiness in the bass section where a bright spirit with a twinkling eye loved music and helped make the whole greater than its parts. But I also came to know Nathan by watching him and my late husband Ralph together, both veterans, both with an awareness of life and a sharing of experience that I could honor and appreciate, but never fully understand. But even Ralph could not share what Nathan experienced, who was told when he tried to enlist in the Air Force that the quota for black men in the Air Force had been reached, and there was no place for him. Until he was drafted, and learned that although he could finally serve, he would serve as part of a segregated force, where his brilliant mind and willingness to serve could not gain him entry to officer candidate school or even technical school at that time because of the color of his skin. So Nathan built airfields. He became a clerk. He became an information specialist. He encountered and lived with racism even in the midst of war. But here's the thing. Even while discussing it, he did not express bitterness or anger. And even when he talked about his life being threatened by fellow service members because he was black, Nathan lived his life as his life, not surprised nor accepting of bigotry, but unwilling to allow it to inform how he would conduct his own life. And he chose to live his life with dignity, with honor, in strength, and with a remarkable graciousness over the course of his service and the rest of his life. That dignity, honor, strength, and graciousness was carried on an underlying current of joy and faith throughout his life. And there's a lesson here for all of us. It is not circumstances who make us who we are, but who we are that determines how we live through those circumstances. Nathan was determined to be a joyful and faithful man, a man of strength, dignity, honor, and graciousness. And because he determined that, he was. And so can we.
Officially, Professor Val Phillips, and I'm speaking about Professor Nathan Smith. First met Nathan when he came into Humboldt State to take over the African American Studies program, which was in something of a state of disarray. And I had been involved with that as a university committee member, trying to figure out what we were going to do. When Nathan arrived, everybody heaved a great sigh of relief. He came without his family because it was a temporary position. And in order for a family to thrive, you need a little more security than one semester appointment. So he was, the position was open as a regular appointment, and his family came to join us. I wasn't deeply associated with Nathan after that because we were in different colleges. I was in arts humanities and he was in the social sciences college. But he associated himself with me because he next showed up at the choir rehearsal for the Arcata Presbyterian Church, which I had the responsibility for. And that was a joy because he was a good singer, he was an amiable person, and he fit right in. His office was at least 2 blocks from my office, and I didn't see him on campus very much. But I'll tell you what happened when he did come up to the main campus, which was quite a trek. He would sit on a big rock up by the administration building, and his students would gather around him. And I would go and sit nearby, hoping to catch a little of his glory, because it was great joy when they came to talk to him out of classroom, on campus. He would sit and smile, that famous smile that was just mentioned, and he would engage them in conversation, and he would be a model for his students. What I finally figured out was Humboldt State really didn't have an African American curriculum. Nathan Smith was the curriculum. Everything that he spoke was learning for them. And I found out later on that was also going to be learning for me. Didacticism is what we call the activities of the people who are marked to be teachers. A didactic person is marked to be a teacher. And he marks other people, he or she. And Nathan Smith marked me. And became my brother, Brother Smith. And we call each other that sometimes. It felt good. So he said, I want to do a sermon. What's it going to be about? He said it's going to be based on the spirituals. Because I want to share with the world that the spirituals have an allegoric meaning. That is, the words that you see there, like deep river, deep river. I thought that was such a pretty song myself. He said, it's got a deeper meaning. I want to share that around here. You don't have much opportunity in this community to understand the things I want to say. So we did this sermon about a dozen times. It's called The Power of Song. Liz just invited me to do it at the Blue Lake Church next month. I'm happy to accept. It's a series of spirituals that become a discourse on how an oppressed people can find ways to express joy, ways to express hope, ways to express grief, ways to express just about anything out of their homeland, away from what they knew, and with all of their musical resources, instruments and everything taken away. They have only their voices. So I got to hear this sermon maybe a dozen times. That was the collegiality that I had with Nathan Smith. It was really off campus. And I'm very sorry. The last time I saw him here in this sanctuary, he said, will you come to my house so I can sing? Yes, Nathan. But it didn't come to pass. Nathan's model was not to be terribly precise about things sometimes. I would say, Nathan, Romans down here, what do you think? Well, here's his response. Looks that way to me. It wasn't yes. It wasn't, are you sure? It was, looks that way. You think we can turn it around? Who's going to do that? We'll see. He always left the door open for just a little more dialogue, just a little more discussion. Collegiality. Collegiality is what you have when people do the same kind of work. Nathan was a prized colleague. I see some of our colleagues here today, and I'm glad for that. I think that's about all. We're going to do a couple of Nathan's songs, Liz and I, in a few minutes. And she's going to do that sermon. We got to find the music, and we got to put it in order. But I'm looking forward to that. And I will miss Nathan's body and spirit and ways. Terrible.